Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to help you get the Zettelkasten of your dreams on your work table beside you. Well, we are in a series, Writing from the Zettelkasten. And yesterday I talked about what happens when you have a pre-production that doesn't function very well. How to tell in advance that your pre-production draft isn't going to do the job. Well, since we were on the subject of things that could potentially be problematic, I decided to do today's what to do when the flow fails. What do you do when you're sitting there ready to write, ready to produce, and nothing wants to come out of your pen on the paper? Then what do you do? If it feels to you like all the oxygen has been sucked out of the room, my first piece of advice is make sure that that isn't literally true. I got a CO2 meter and oh, was I ever surprised. Sometimes the best thing you need to do is open a window. Besides that, the other thing you can do that I've discovered works, and I have no credentials in this area, we're talking purely empirically here, is simply ask your subconscious what the problem is. How do you talk to the side of your brain that doesn't have language? Well, first of all, I think it has more language than people give it credit for. I'll tell you that. We'll say, when you want to talk to the side of your brain that doesn't use language as its storage mechanism. Still, you can ask your brain, you can ask that side of your brain what the problem is. The mechanism is quite simple. It's been well researched. It's the means by which researchers have been able to work with people who have language impairment, such as following a stroke when speech is no longer available, or with children who have difficulties and do not have language. It's a method of pointing, and I'll show you the cards that I've made. It's another set of cards on a ring, and I'll show you over in the down-facing camera how it works. See you over there. Okay, so here we are. At some stage, I discovered that when I feel blocked, like I can't go forward and I'm not making any progress on what I'm doing, and if I've ruled out the possibility that the room is getting ridiculously stuffy, then the next thing to do is to try to figure out, well, what's going wrong? Where is the problem? And I found that an extremely simple answer turned out to be incredibly useful. And that was to simply ask myself, okay, point to the problem, and then sit back and wait. And this is the set that I discovered worked for me. I additioned quite a number of different cards, but these in particular are the ones that I could almost always find the problem just to begin with by pointing to one of these 4 words. And having picked one of them out, then I would look a little bit more deeply to figure out, well, within each of these categories, what exactly is going on. So let's take fear, for example. I only recently tried giving it a symbol after I've discovered how handy it was to have the wonderful symbols that Michael Dean supplied for his essay architecture. For example, he uses this symbol for mystery. Isn't that sweet? It's not just a question mark, it's an amazing question. And so just recently I went back and retrofitted these cards with some symbols, but I've actually worked with them perfectly well with just words. Oh, okay. So I have a set of cards on a ring that will often help me figure out what's causing the problem when I'm finding it difficult to work on any given day. Let's just run through them quickly. Here's one that often comes up. I'm going down my work, I'm coming along just fine, and all of a sudden I feel the need to go in 2 directions at once, or heaven forbid, a dozen directions at once. And it just stops me in my tracks. I've learned to grab that 0 note and as fast as I can, write down both of the things. Or heaven forbid, if there's a whole bunch of them, just bing, 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 and bullet points, just zap them down on the page as quickly as I can. Okay, now I've captured them. Then I can simply say this one or this one, and I'm back moving forward. This next one is similar to feeling split. It's a sense of being about to be split. You don't know what you're split into, but it's feeling frazzly, like the whole thing's coming apart. I call that feeling distracted, or sometimes feeling overexcited, like my batteries are just overcharged. Identifying one of these two just reminds me to stop, slow down, take a few deep breaths, and I can pretty well work past that one. Blocked. Oh, that's a good one to know about, because when I can identify that I'm blocked, I know exactly what I have to do. I have to figure out, okay, what's missing? I can't go forward because I don't have a plan. And why don't I have a plan? I can usually dive down in with analysis and figure out, oh, I'm missing a piece of information. Oh, I'm missing a direction. Oh, I'm missing the goal. Whatever it is, that blocked one lets me know there's no surprise why I can't go forward. There's no way to get through that path right now till I clear away some of the roadblocks. Here's one Mel Jeffcoat suggested adding: pain. When things just hurt, it's pretty hard to go forward. Sometimes you can acknowledge that things hurt and then manage to go forward anyway once you've acknowledged it, and it's good to have it for a card there. Sometimes it's just you need to take a little bit of a break and get to feeling a little bit better. But this one does fit into the picture. And here's the last one on my ring. And this is when I might be feeling frightened. And that frightened feeling might be because I feel lost or anxious, or just I'm toughing it out and it's hard and I'm doing it anyway and I'm pushing past the fact that it's hard. In any case, simply acknowledging what the problem is, taking a moment to identify it on the broad scale, and then pinpoint exactly what it is that's causing the problem is usually enough to get right on past it and get moving again. But there was one card where the communication went the other way, where my subconscious mind, well, it bubbled up to my consciousness, obviously, but where there was a thought that bubbled up, speaking in the other direction, something that I was lacking. When you finish something that was hard, take a minute to celebrate. I have a tendency to just check off the box and grab the next one in the stack. The other side of my brain had to say, whoa, stop. Not stop because you're blocked. Not stop because you're split. Not stop because you're scared. Stop because you haven't taken enough time to celebrate what you just finished. Well, what did you think of the idea of actually asking your subconscious mind what the problem is? Frankly, I have found that to be enormously productive, and it very often gets me going again and gets me past whatever that block was. So I invite you to give it a try. All I can offer is to say, it works for me. You might want to see if it might work for you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.